everybody. My first guest received an Academy Award for her role in A Beautiful Mind. Starting tomorrow, she can be seen with Ben Kingsley in the critically acclaimed new movie, House of Sand and Fog. Please welcome Jennifer Connelly. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. If I sit on your lap, do I get a Christmas wish, too?
Oh, yes, yes. You can sit on my lap whenever you want. Christmas came early for Conan. Last time you were on the show, you were very pregnant.
I was.
And since that time, you've given birth. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Boy, girl?
Boy.
Boy.
4 months old. His name is Stellan.
His name is Stellan?
Stellan, yes.
Stellan. Okay,
Yeah.
that's an unusual name, and I'm one to talk, too. My name's Conan, but what's Stellan all about? Stellan is unusual. Did you...
Yeah, it's a Swedish name. It's just a common name in Sweden. And Paul, my husband, has a friend named Stellan Skarsgård, who I've yet to meet.
Well, you named it after someone you haven't met. That takes guts.
Yeah, and I'm a bit nervous about the whole thing. I mean, evidently when Paul called Stellan to tell him that we had named our child after him, he said, "Wonderful, does this mean I can suck on your wife's breast?"
Oh, what a wonderful man. Well, first the answer would be no, I guess. But second of all, you've named your child after this guy. I was like, let's get some booby here, you know?
What have I done?
It's terrible. You always got to meet, because that's what happens when you're trying to come up with a name. Both people, someone will go like, well, how about Arthur? And someone will go, no, a guy named Arthur gave me a huge wedgie in 5th grade, and so that ruins the name.
It goes on like that. We had lists. We had endless lists. It was, you know, it's definitely going to be Alfie. It's definitely Alfie this week. And, you know, the next week, oh, it's definitely Finn, you know, and everyone always has a reason why.
Right. Oh, you can't do that. It's the wrong thing. And you know what? I'm curious, because the last time you were here, you said you were thinking about doing a water birth.
Yes.
And I wasn't liking that idea of a water birth. I just was worried. I just thought, like, well, the baby's born, and the first thing, it's like, you're at the bottom of a tub, buddy, you know.
Yeah.
They'd get the wrong idea about Earth. They'd think we were all water people, you know.
Yeah, I remember. So, will you love me less if I say that we did do a water?
You went against my wishes. That's terrible.
So
how could you do that? So you did. You did the water birth.
We did.
And what was it like?
It was extraordinary, I have to say. It was really, really wonderful. I highly recommend it for anyone who's considering this option.
Now, water birth, you're not floating in the ocean, or you're in a tub. Is that right?
It was basically, they call it a birthing pool. It's a glorified bathtub.
It's a bathtub.
You know,
yeah.
It's a bathtub.
They tell some guy, get out of there, we're having to have a birth.
Yeah.
He's like, huh? Whoa, okay.
So,
I guess I know.
But it's great, you know, sort of.
And it was a great experience
hippie
because
style.
it's hippie style.
It's a bit hippie style. It's au naturel, as the French like to say.
Au naturel meaning no clothes for you. Obviously, no clothes for the baby, unless there's something I don't know about.
Yeah, yeah.
And where was your husband during the whole birth?
He was in the room with us. He was outside the tub, sort of leaning in, and I was sort of leaning forward.
And then eventually, did you get him into the tub too?
Yeah, after Stellan was born, they hand Stellan to me, and we stay in the tub, and then Paul got in with us.
Wow, so it's the three of you. That's just
Yeah, it was really lovely, I have to say. I'm blushing now.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's a personal thing, so I hope I'm not prying, but it just seems like it's a nice way. But you are, and I must have photos now. Let's take a look. I found these in the tabloids.
No, it was really beautiful. I mean, it was really, you know, it's always a difficult kind of thing to do, but it was really extraordinary, I have to say.
And your husband, excellent actor Paul Bettany, and you had the baby in London because he was filming there, is that right? He
was doing a film called Wimbledon, and he played a professional tennis player who wins Wimbledon.
Did he have to get in amazing shape for that role?
Yes, he was a man who used to love to make fun of me for exercising ever, and loathed the idea of exercise, and he became really addicted to it. He got very big and buff. It was a bit shocking.
Well, it must be nice. Don't women like it when their man gets in incredible shape? I wouldn't know.
I found it a bit disconcerting.
I have no idea.
You know, it was strange. I mean, he went over to London early. I had to stay behind, and I joined him about 3 weeks later, maybe a month later. And he'd been working out the whole time that I was gone. And when I first saw him at was kind of scary. I felt like I was cheating on my husband. You know?
Like, who is this guy? Yeah.
Who is this? These big muscles. He'd been to the tanning bed and everything. It was all.
That's why I will not. That's why I will not work out. I refuse to do it. I think it would be too shocking for my wife. Letting myself go, just because it's more.
And congratulations on your baby.
Yes, we had a baby 9 weeks ago. 9 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
I had a baby. Yeah. We did a cab birth, which explains our last guest tonight. I'll explain that later. It's very au naturel. We were all naked. Including the cabbie, which was, you'll tell you about it. Now, you're going to live in New York now, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you have a place here?
I've finally gotten out of the box that I've been living in for the last 10 years, and we've bought a home, a proper house in New York.
Wow. Because you were living in a pretty tiny apartment.
Pretty tiny place, yeah. We haven't bought any furniture, so we're still inhabiting about the same amount of space, unfortunately. We have one couch, which is in the kitchen, and one bed.
People don't know what it's like, who haven't lived in Manhattan don't know what this whole situation is like. And we joked about this the other day on the show, but when they caught Saddam Hussein and they said he's been living in a 5x8 hole infested with mice, I was like, that goes for $3,000 a month in this town, you know? All over New York, people were like, was it available? Can I get it?
So true.
We have a clip here of House of Sand and Fog, but before we show the clip, I'd like to, people to know, understand what the movie's about. It's a great idea for a movie.
It's wow. In the quick encapsulation, it's my character Kathy Niccolo. My house is taken away. It's a big mistake. I have really nothing left to hold on to. The house is sort of my last connection to any place in the world. And Ben Kingsley's character, his family buys the house at auction.
Sort of takes it away from you.
Takes it away from me. It's all a big mistake. I'm trying to get it back. It's this huge sort of collision of these two families, but it's also, looks at people who are isolated, who don't know. It's about intolerance. It's about people who don't know how to, can't see each other or speak to each other.
He's such an intimidating presence in movies when he wants to be. He is in this scene in particular, but Sir Ben Kingsley can really, do you know what I mean, put the fear of God into you when you watch him.
Yeah, well, he's really talented, and I think all the characters in this movie, the director didn't want us to sort of coddle the characters, and so he let them be really human with all their flaws. And so my character is quite petulant at times, and Sir Ben's character has a really sort of violent streak in him, and he's an actor who won't shy away from putting that on the screen, which is really interesting to watch.
I really like this scene a lot. It's a scene from House of Sand and Fog. Let's take a look. That's I would not want to tangle with him. I would not want to try and get an extension on my rent from that character. By the way, are you ready to do a comedy now? It feels like you've done a lot of brilliant work. It's very intense. Are you ready to do something just silly, just for yourself?
First, I'd like a nap. I'm so sleepy.
Right. This show has that effect on people, yes. That's why I'm here, people.
But after that, I would love to do a comedy. I don't think... I think I have a little work to do, because I don't think I'm high on people's list. I think when they think, oh, we have this new comedy, let's get that girl from, let's say, Requiem for a Dream.
Right.
It's just not, I think I'm just not high up there on the list.
You and me, we'll do a buddy cop comedy, you and I.
Fantastic.
Yes, your career will then be destroyed, and you will sue me. House of Sand and Fog opens tomorrow in New York and L.A., nationwide. Next Friday. Always an honor to have you here. Thank you very much. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Jennifer Connelly, everyone. Louis Black coming up to take a break. We'll be right back.